So in this video, we will be talking about how you can avoid getting conned when buying real estate. I mean, there are many ways. Many people have lost money, lots of money in the process of trying to own that one property. You know, people have cried rivers. You've seen in media news about how people have lost money when they're trying to buy property. So the video is just about how you can avoid getting conned when you're buying real estate. So there are several stages because we really have people who have amassed so much wealth from conning people when they're buying property, whether it is land, housing. In housing, we've seen how people have paid money for a joint development, buying property off plan only for those developments not to happen. We've seen people who have bought land in various areas and they've been waiting for titles to come out only to realize that the people who sold to them the property were not the true owners of those properties. So we are just trying to help you, help me, help all of us avoid these scammers by understanding there are clear processes that one should follow to own a property in Kenya. And we just want to encourage real estate investors that once you know these processes, no seller, no organization, individual or groups will convince you otherwise. You will stick, utakwamia pale. What I mean is, ukitaka kununua utakwamia pale, utasema I need to go and see the property, I need to do this, I need to do this, because it is your money. So no one should push you to do things their way once you understand the process. So in this video, we are going to break it down for you, make it easy breezy, so that when you go to buy property, you have a rough idea of what you need to do and what you not need to do. So be careful, be on the watch out. Let us not get so many people losing their hard-earned money to people who do not care. So at Heart Property, we are happy to take you through this process, and you can always reach out and then blah blah blah, the titles are ready. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Book an appointment and visit the location of that property. Travel, make time. I mean, this is an investment, it's a big deal. So if you're going to borrow money to invest it on something, please make time and visit that property, the location of the property. You'll have so many advantages of knowing that, because you also want to know who are your neighbors, what is the ground looking like. Is it red soil? Is it black soil? Assuming if you want to build, are you buying red or black soil? Who are the neighbors? You know, how far is it from the main amenities or an urban center? And all these things will really be something that we'll need to know in the process of making that decision whether to buy that property or not. That is one. Two, I think I have about 10 items. I'll try and summarize them quickly. But one, visit the location. Two, request for the title of the property. A property is only in existence with an existing title. If there's no title, then what are we selling? Because it's meaning you can't even do a search. You can only do a search on a property that has a title. So if there's no title, then of course now that's where the problem begins. Most of the time people are willing to pay and wait for the process. But still, even if you have to do that, please just try and find out where is the title. Who owns that property? Is it the person selling it to you? And if they're selling it to you, if they don't have the title, find out why don't they have a title. In the event they don't have a title, that takes a different time. I think that's a conversation we'll have another day. If they have a title, visit the local authorities and conduct a search on that property. A search on the property will cost you about 520 Kenya shillings. Usidanganywe. It's a normal search, which you can also do by yourself online, thanks to CS Farida Karonei has made it very easy, and the Minister of Lands in general, they've made it very easy for members of the public to conduct searches on property they want to purchase. You can also do it through a lawyer, but the cost is 520. Usidanganywe, don't pay more. Once you've done the search, you should also check if the land rates are already paid. Because once the Minister of Lands will not transfer the land to you when they're pending rates, unpaid rates. They'll not transfer the land to you. So make sure it's paid, and if it is not paid, then you have to negotiate with the owner and find out at what point will they pay. Okay, so visit the location, conduct a search, ask for the title, a copy of the title deed, and conduct a search, pay that amount of money that we mentioned, and check if the rates are paid. What else? If at all, I think, like I mentioned, if the owner of the property is willing to pay the rates, of course, now you can see how you can knock off the cost, because some people owe a lot of rates to the council, so you might get yourself in trouble and lose your money in the process. Then the other thing that people find hard to do is getting the map of the area, requesting for the map. I mean, it's not a lot of money to get it. Get a map of the area. That way you'll ensure you're not buying public land. If you have a map of the area, usually it's property well marked, you'll not be buying public land, or you'll not be buying any property that ideally is probably owned by someone else, or it's meant for public use. So make sure you get the map. It's available at the Ministry of Land for the map. I mean, it's not a lot of money to get it. Get a map of the area. That way you'll ensure you're not buying public land. If you have a map of the area, usually it's property well marked, you'll not be buying public land, or you'll not be buying any property that ideally is probably owned by someone else, or it's meant for public use. So make sure you get the map. It's available at the Ministry of Land. It will show you the mutations of the area, how it looks like, the neighbors, the roads, whatever, all social amenities that should be available at that particular property, you'll find them there. So make sure you get that. And with those two maps, you are able to verify the beacons of your property, the one you're buying. If you have the map, you can easily, on the map, from the map, even if the beacons are not there physically, you can use the map to locate your beacons on the property. Then at that time, you can now sit and start bargaining for the price. Don't start bargaining before visiting, checking all these things that you need to check. Check all the things you need to check, and now you can say, okay, you told me you're selling your property at 1 million. From what I've seen, maybe it's rocky, the distance is too far from the road, blah, blah, blah. You can negotiate, always negotiate. I mean, there's nothing that is, we are Africans. Mi ni wale watu kupenda kunegotiate. We negotiate about everything. Kila kitu. I think hata supermarket bado negotiate. Juu unasema nunua bag ya kubeba, unasema hapana, mimi sitaki kununua, nipatie box instead. Because we are always negotiating. We are Africans. Tunapenda kunegotiate. So negotiate. Negotiate the price of that land and make sure you get the best value for it, because you need to get that return on your investment. So if you're in a hurry and you pay, like I know someone who was in a hurry sometimes back in Kilimani. That is not Kilimani, that is Valley. And because they were in a hurry, boss alilipa 25 million for a 3-bedroom apartment. Akaambiwa, you know, every apartment is sold. Ni moja tu ndimebaki. And by the way, those who sell land do that a lot of times. Yani shamba iko pale, unaambiwa tumeuza zote, ni moja tu imebaki na hii ni yako, so you have to sign an agreement now, because ukienda kuna watu wengi sana wanataka, so you buy and